What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning, Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, get up. The early bird gets the worm. Today, I'm going to recap episode 8 of the Acolyte. And we're gonna get into how I felt about this episode, everything, what they could be setting up for the future. There's a lot to unpack. That I know a lot of people don't like this show, and I can see rightfully so. But you can't tell me that they have not set up one of the biggest things a lot of people has been asking about for a minute, especially when we're talking Star Wars. So hopefully you guys are healthy. Hopefully you guys are happy. Shout out to my man over Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan Show. But we're about to get into it. You already know what it is. You know how to do it. The real question is, all right. Brother need is, man, I need a retwist. You know what I'm saying? All of that. What up, Roberta? What's killing me? I used to get a lot of people who will come and watch this instead of watching on YouTube. They'll watch it on X. Now that they took away that ability to stream without having to pay for it on X, trust me, I'll be on. You know what I'm saying? The crowd on X I'm missing. That makes me mad. That legitimately makes me mad now because you literally have to pay for it just to be, dumb stuff. But it's all good. It is all good, man. I'm gonna have to get that blue check mark again just so I can stream on X. It's stupid. What's up, person? At the top of the morning. Tell ya, top of the morning. I am going to do this. Obviously, we're going to do this recap, and then I'm also going to do after this. I got a reaction video that I want to record. Actually, there's two. I think I might say that I might save that one for a live. The one that I kind of want to do is a little longer. Kind of want to say that for a live and see what see the reaction to that one. And it has to do with the Black Panther movie. So I kind of got it saved away. I haven't did it yet, but yeah, let's see. Let's see what we'll do. All right. So this is episode 8. This is just no title. No title, no nothing, just episode 8. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been a big defender of this show. I've been a big defender of this show. And I will continue to defend it because I do see a lot of potential, and I see the viewpoint now of when you're looking at this particular show. This is from literally the dark side point of view of what they feel about the Jedi Order. You know what I mean? And that is something that this is not explained a lot. We always get the good guy side of the things, but what about the guys that you quote unquote say is the bad side? You know what I mean? And there was a lot of things in this episode that made me think that the Sith is not the bad guys, man. Honestly. Especially, in episode 7, and we see these flashbacks of them going into the witches' covenant, disturbing them. Like, I didn't do anything to you. You just came in here and disturbing all this mess because you think that you have the authority to, because you have some enlightenment in the force and you tuck away your feelings and all of that. Like, back up, dog. Who are you to tell me what's right and wrong? And I've always felt like that about Star Wars, is they try to say, well, emotions is bad. Emotions make you go to the dark side, but also emotions make you care and empathize about people also. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't have to go to the dark side if you use that emotion to empathize and to be able to understand people. But it seemed like in this particular story, the Jedi was more concerned about what they wanted to get over instead of being diplomatic and actually understanding what's going on, then act to see if something was happening. To me, that didn't happen in this story. So, like I said, there was a lot of things that I liked about this story. And maybe because I like to see it from the bad guy's point of view, it don't make it just, mustache twirling evil. Don't make it pomade rubbing his beard evil. Make it where it's understandable. And when you get a clear understanding of why the Sith, will turn, or why people just don't like the Jedi. Excuse me. To me, that was the biggest thing about this particular show in this particular episode. Again, I defend it. I've told y'all there's some Star Wars that I don't like. There's some Star Wars shows that I don't like. There's some Star Wars movies I don't like. But again, my favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith and The Empire Strikes Back. The movies where the bad guy wins. So maybe I'm more, towards the dark side than I thought. But let's get into it. What's up, Junior Network? Good morning. Let's get into this episode. And of course, if this is your first time watch this, or you watch this on a replay, I do a recap. I give this in 10-second interviews. I might play a little bit of it because I don't want to get in trouble with Disney, but I do recap this in my own unique way. So buckle up, because it might not be the actual story, but it's going to be a story. Trust me, and trust to believe, I'm going to give you a story. Erica Dixon, what's going on? So this episode starts off with Osha with the Smilo Ren helmet, and she's over here. She's getting more force sensitive into the force, and there was something interesting about this because he's trying to gauge inside of her mind, why she has this helmet on, and this is the same look. I don't think a lot of people. I was waiting for this, and I need to know. If they got to do a season 2 of this. I know it got review bond, but I need to know his story. I need to know, because they set up a lot with him, because we don't still know who he really is. We get the Chimera, name, but in the subtitles, they still call him the Stranger. So who the hell is he? Was he the apprentice of Darth Plagueis? You know what I'm saying? That ventured out into his own set. We get a hint of who his former Padawan is. I mean, who his former master is. When he was with the Jedi Order. But this is the same thing that Mother Anosha, or whatever, I can't, Anastasia, whatever, I can't think of her name. I think it's Anastasia. That is the look that she gave. So obviously he's been working with that Witch's Covenant before. And he finally gets his helmet off, of her. She's breathing heavy. She wants to know what the hell was going on, and he's trying to explain to her about the dark side and all the information that she's receiving. Just basically, as more and more she got closer to the Force, the more and more it starts weighing heavy on her, which is a dope concept. And she was still like, I'm not going with you. It was like, but we need to go get May. It was like, as long as if I go, you got to follow my lead. You know what I mean? It was like, well, what ship you going to take? We're going to take your ship. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take your ship. So then we get back with Saul and May. And I'm going to get to the end when I actually think about the overall, the overall portion of this show. But she's using Pip the droid to be able to get out of these shackles while she's talking to Saul and she's revealing to Saul, I know you killed my mama. I was there. Well, why did you lie to Osha? What was that? And he was like, I didn't mean to, I didn't want to, but you liked it. And this is what I'm saying. Saul needed to go, because how are you still blaming the fire, you don't know what caused that fire, but you immediately blamed everything on her instead of taking responsibility for your own action, the things that you did. You didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? And and then he started explaining to her that the virgins on that planet means that they are one entity that was split into two. So that nursery rhyme that they're talking about, which we still did not see. This is almost like what they did in the Phantom Menace when you get introduced to young Anakin Skywalker. Almost literally the same kind of parallel, except they didn't train Osha as a Jedi. You know what I mean? Because they knew she was too old, but they didn't train her. What's going on, Erica Dixie? Yeah, to me, I like the show because I see the potential that I can see a great setup. But he was telling them that they're not twins. You know what I mean? And then she gave him the with the elect. She used Pip the droid to be able to stun him. And then Basil was coming in, sniff, sniff. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he reminds me of them the little snarf on She-Ra. Snarf, snarf. So she's escaping in the other ship, and she was like, "Burn in hell, Jedi," which I like. Damn, they got hell in Star Wars. So she gets up in the plane, and then we get the title screen, and then we get back. She done vamped off. You know what I'm saying? Her in the reset Pip the droid. They done vamped off. He goes after her, chasing her. And then for those who was like, man, it ain't enough Star Wars in this Star Wars. Well, you got a little Star Wars. Of course, they wasn't able to shoot each other down, but they went inside this asteroid field, this is the same planet. This is Bordak, the same planet that was affected, when the Jedi went through like this hyperspace, and it was too much, and it blew up a planet, and it's caused all this debris. Don't you start now. I paid my bill. Don't you start now. But they went through all this debris. But what Basil ends up doing is he snatches up. For one, I was wondering, why did he snatch up the wire? He wanted her to run into her so they could be able to crash land basically on board, which is dangerous because of what if everything would have gone wrong? I would have crashed my ship and it would have exploded. You know what I mean? So Bezel was doing the wrong thing here, but I kind of get what he did, but I kind of thought that was stupid. But again, he knocked her, you know what I'm saying? He knocked her off course. They end up on I think it's Bordak, or it's the same planet that that they were raised on. So we get back here to Master Vanessa, and her Padawan is stupid. It was like, you just go let him in here, like and now she got to force open the door to go holler at dude. And he's part of the Senate, and he is saying Brendock. My bad, it's Brendock. Thank you, Erica. Colton Gilmore, what's going on? He basically ran her through. He said, "Look, we all know that you hiding something. I know that you run around, you doing your little investigation thing, you doing all that, but so you're not telling me there's nothing else going on? There's not a bigger threat?" And then she was like, "I think it's a rogue Jedi. We're going to bring him into custody." She was like, "Look, I know you don't like me. I don't like you. So let's cut to the chase. I think the Jedi is a bunch of hypocrites running around as a religion, thinking they can, all up in the videos. You know what I mean? Dancing all in the videos, all of this, the CEOs and all of that. They basically bad boy for life. You know what I mean? It's the Jedi, bad boy. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just all live folks' business. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Nah, we don't control the Force." It was like, not the Force, it's the religion that you push. It's the way that you guys move. We already know. And it was like, if one of y'all Jedi get out of hand, who gonna stop it? And that was a good question. You know what I mean? It was like, I know my people don't understand that we can't see the Jedi without, you know what I'm saying, as people. You know, I mean, we can't see the galaxy without Jedis, but just in case some one of those Jedis got out of hand, then what's gonna happen? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So, so he gets back. He says, I'm a holler at the Emperor. She's over there. She's pissed off We back on Brent Doc. No, we're back at the unknown. Now, I do got to kind of play this a little bit. I'm going to play it and stop. Play it and stop because there is a cameo. There's something. Is this where the cameo comes in? I believe. And he was like, you got to deal with my sister. He's like, he's telling her what you consider. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, I ain't considering nothing. What I'm going to do is go and holler at my sister. They're not going to bring her in because I'm going to go holler at her. If you come on. Who ship you go? God, come on. You know what I mean? But he told her, I'm not my sister, and she was right. You know what I mean? He was right when he said this scene. Now, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying not to get in trouble. This is the scene that tripped me out. This right here. Like, who's that peeking in my window? Pow! Who I think this is. I believe that this is Darth Plagueis. I believe 1000% this is Darth Plagueis. And why does that get me excited? Well, if Quimera or the Stranger in May or Osha is going to be, the Acolyte, then what I believe is they are the first set of they're the early editions of the Knights of Ren, right? That's why he needed an Acolyte so he could start the Knights of Ren, so he could be able to serve his ultimate master, Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis goes and gets a young Palpatine. Oh my God, the things you can set up with just this scene, because I'm trying to tell you, if they did a Darth Plagueis, the Y show, call it the Ascension of the Acolyte, call it Darth Plagueis or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? The Rise of Darth Plagueis. Everybody will tune into that because we want to see. We heard about this story, from Palpatine. We gotta find out. We got to. So all these people that were review bombing it, I'm trying to tell you, if they're going to do a Darth Plagueis show, you're going to watch it. Stop it. And then you're going to look back on this and be like, damn, that wasn't that bad at all, because they set up Darth Plagueis and the early Knights of Ren, because I believe that's the reason why that they were playing the Kylo Ren theme this whole entire time. You got it. They're setting up the early Knights of Ren so we can be able to have an old Republic, kind of setup that leads into what happens with the Knights of Ren and all that. I think that would be so incredibly awesome. But I ain't done with this episode yet. So Saul is going ahead and he hit the distress signal, and he's going out and he's looking for May, and he's using the 1-1-1-1 things that, when you in the Force, especially if you play any of the Jedi game, the Jedi Fallen Order and all of that, when you have to stop, you go 1-1-1-1-1. You got to be able to, you tap it into the Force with your 1-1-1-1-1. So we in here now. I would smack the shit out this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But her Padawan was making me mad. Her Padawan was making me mad because it was doing too much. And that's probably why she got an attitude. I was wondering why she was so grumpy in this mug. Her Padawan's a dummy. A complete big dummy. He was like, get as many Jedi Knights as we get. Now, again, I thought we was going to get Jedi Knights. And Jedi Knights was going to be, what you call that? The red shirts from Star Trek. That's what I thought we was gonna get. Now, again, they go into this is where Osha and May grew up at. This was the facility that the Witches Coven was at, which I wanted them to see if there was still some old bones sitting around, because I wonder who cleaned up all them witches that died. Or are they just over there just bones and clothes? Bones and clothes. Bones of clothes. I got none of me of my bones of clothes. But he starts hearing the past. One thing that I do like about the game Jedi Fallen Order and the other game is that once you're a Jedi, you can be able to listen and hear, almost like the past of what happened. And he was getting all flashbacks. He had to feel stupid. because it was getting all flashbacks. Now they got up in here. They was like, how we gonna get in? It was like, I know the way to get in. And this fool just turns around and pulls a Batman. Just gone. Like, where'd he go? Where'd Smilo Ren go? I'm still calling him Smilo Ren. I don't care what none of y'all say. So he's going in. He's going back to the scene of the crime. This is where he was supposed to save Ocean May, but he was so I think he felt, now that hindsight is 2020, I believe Saul felt how strong she was in the Force. And that's why he wanted to get Osha so bad. You know what I mean? But I think everybody kind of knew that she was strong in the Force. But again, he allowed May to for him, that he didn't know at the time, to basically die, and he saved Osha. You know what I'm saying? But then you're going to blame a kid. Yeah, she set a fire, but she didn't want to set the fire. She just didn't want her sister to leave. She didn't want to be separated from her sister. But you turned around and killed her mama, and you didn't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So you was wrong. You was dead wrong. So she going in there, and this is May. There's been a complete contrast of May. You got to see this. Soon as they did the flip in episode 7, that flip stayed there. May is now in the white, which introduced the light side of the Force, and Ocean's in her dark, which represents the dark side of the Force. The similar thing that they did with Luke Skywalker in the Return of the Jedi. Once you get to Return of the Jedi, Luke is in his all dark clothes, so he was really on the verge of being on the dark side of the Force. They basically did the same thing with Osha in this episode. They did it. They flipped around with Osha and May. And he's still shouting for May, but you know what I mean? What you shouting for May for? But he gets ready because, my man, you already know what it's time for. They start fighting. Wong, wong, pow, pow, pow. What you want? Force move. They was over there getting it. We doing the same move. You can't get this. And I love, this is all Force fighting. This is emotional fighting. One, when I talk about emotional fighting, the way that they're using their emotion, it's not like a combat. It's basically a way of fighting, but it's fighting with your emotions instead of fighting with a calm spirit, letting someone attack you and you going into defense. This is all purebred hatred. Force kick. Yeah, what you want? Bloods and Crips. You know what I'm saying? Jedi style. What you want, dog? Blood? He was like, nothing, cuz. We can go ahead. We can do it right now, right here. You want some of this? We can get some of this. On the bridge. They just swing it like sir. And I love this fight. The reason why I like this, reason why I like this fight, because this fight is something that we needed. We needed them solo without nobody around getting it. Let's get it. Burning everything in the. I love this. This is awesome. It was first pushing back, and this was dope. Crouching Tiger hitting Jedi. Let's do wire work. Let's get down. Bow, missed. And they did the slow motion. I was like, oh, look at him. Get into a little bit of that little Chinese kung fu. Says, let's get it. Now, this is more of a samurai tactic. Saul is starting to breathe and slow down. You know what I mean? Smilo Ren is like, he's like, I would destroy you if I must, but he had to slow down. And he was like, you ain't getting shit out though, cuz. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, let's get back to it. And then he went to the double light. Oh my God! When he goes to the double lightsaber, the one small one, one big one, he was like, it's time to get it on. So he get back to it. Double lightsaber. And when is the last time? We haven't really seen this type of combat for real. We haven't really seen this type of combat since the Clone Wars TV show, because they really don't do the combat like that in live action. But having these two, they was getting it. Get it. Force move. You want to get this? Get that. Pow, pow. Yeah. I got you. Put that down. And then as soon as he threw it, I was like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to learn. He's starting to learn how you are. You know, if I disable that one lightsaber, I got one more lightsaber to go. And he was like, shit, let me force it. Oh, snap. Didn't get it. And he was like, bow, 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 bow. Gave him the what was my man? Luke Kane. Gave him the Luke Kane kicks all in your chest. Huh? He's like, oh, my chest. My bloody chest. He was like, what you up? He getting in that stance. He getting in that stance again. He was like, oh, it's in my control. Oh, I love it. I love it. Samurai stance. You know what I'm saying? Because you move any closer, I'm getting that chest. He was like, using the boomerang. I can get them out of there. Let me pull you next to you. Boomerang lightsaber. He was like, oh, so you want to play now? Let me go ahead and show you how to play. Bow. I'm talking about Tai Chi. Bow. Get that out of here. Oh, man. My man said, oh, snap. I haven't felt that bad since 67. Oh. He was like, let's get it. He was like, oh, snap. Oh, man, all the feels, and I was getting right here. Lightsaber still ready, baby. Let's go. And it was like, I'm telling you, this fight made it so interesting because Saul finally calmed down. He wasn't so emotional. He calmed down, was like, let's get it. Let's do it. If you destroy me, cool. But it ain't going to be easy, though, player. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I said, don't even trip. We still got it. And now the way that he went to attack him, all emotion. So again, May is, this is Osha. Osha coming in here. She finds May. They have a conversation. Was like, look, don't listen to Saul. Saul lied to you. You coming in here, you want to fight. You know what I'm saying? It was Saul. Saul killed her mama. He was like, you lying. You set that fire. You made me go to the dark side because all these feelings and stuff. I couldn't even be a Jedi because of you. You know what I'm saying? I hated you. I hated your mama. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. And you got on my clothes. I hate that too. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, baby, he lying. Listen, Teresa, listen, Lisa, listen. It's like, I ain't listening to you. We gonna go ahead and we gonna box up in his mouth. And then they start fighting. For a kick. I love this because the CGI that they used on here was so good. I forgot that she was. These are stunt doubles with her face on it. This is how good. You know what I'm saying? They was doing this. It was like, oh, you got Pip? It was like, oh, Pip. Oh, snap. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. I'm talking about if y'all don't like this, I'm trying to tell y'all, okay, I know a lot of people got pissed off about the budget because this is literally a sound stage. This don't look real. Nothing in Star Wars look real because it's Star Wars. You know what I mean? Except for, when they go to the landscapes or whatever, but that's another thing. But if you say anything, you got to give them props by what they did with the face recognition, changing the faces on here and having Osha and May fight. And then you get to find out how dope Osha really is. May with the kick. Block, hey, block again. Block, force, double take. Get in the same stance. Then May is in her stance. It's like, force motion. She was like, I ain't never seen you be like this. It was like, it ain't my fault. Please believe me. And she was over there, man, kick, miss, pow. And then it just mirrors the same thing that we're getting with Saul and Kyber. Smilo Ren. It was like, oh, let's finish this lightsaber clash. Now, you know what I could do? Let me see if I could bring that. He was like, if I could bring that lightsaber over to my face, then we got something that could happen. And then right when we doing that, you see the ship coming on. Oh, snap. Who is that coming down here? You know what I mean? He's like, now you pay for what you have done. He was like, you ain't got no coins for me, player. You can't pay for what's going on here. He said, they ain't for me anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they was over there still, Osha and May still going at it. Pow. The CGI was excellent on here because you can't tell that these are two totally different people doing this. I gotta give Star Wars this props. This was good, and they're basically at a standstill. This is Canon Ryu. We're at a standstill, and then we was like, "Oh, what is that?" You know what I'm saying? We hear, you know what I'm saying? The music coming. Oh snap! There's a ship. I wonder who they for. Oh, they for me. They for you. And then she pulled it back. Why everybody could that? Why I wish I could do that. When people like, where Dre at? When I'm at work, I just pull a Batman. Ninja, vanish. Let's get up out of here. She was like, come with me if you want to live. And then they still going at it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it again. Excellent fighting because now they just going at it. Again, they're at a standstill. Move over. Let me get that. Swipe that leg. He's like, oh, but if I could, he learned, if I can reverse this, I could just, knock his helmet, knock his lightsaber to his helmet. This is Smilo Ren to Saul. Well, Saul was like, but if I can knock his lightsaber to his helmet, it's going to immobilize it itself. I learned from the last fight. Let's get that face. Let's do it opposite. He was like, oh, snap. And he's pulling it towards him. This was so, again, I don't care what y'all say. They always talking about, oh, this was your Star Wars. You ain't the way this name is Star Wars in a lot. You know what I mean? I don't really care. Which, honestly, I would just keep it truthful. I wish I would have knew more about the strength. If this was a stranger story, more than Maya Osha, but I can see how Maya Osha could be able to, you know what I'm saying, that story of the Virgins, and it started on Brendock, and how Darth Plagueis the Wise knew about the midi-chlorian account and how you could be able to preserve life and all of that. I will take that. I will still take that because I need to know about who this dude is. But they was like, let me pull this over to you. Ooh, let me pull this back. Wow. Oh, cut his license. I thought for real. Now, I used to do this on the video game with Silver Samurai on Marvel versus Capcom. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought he was dead. I thought he sliced him in the chest, and then he just cut his lightsaber. I said, "Boy, you're a cold piece of work. Cut a man's lightsaber down to the crystal." And he took his helmet off. He was like, "Man, it's hot up under that helmet. I'm over here sweating. I know I smell like age-old grits. You know what I'm saying? Grits and mutton. You know what I mean? Go ahead. If you're gonna kill me, cuz. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" And I like it. He was gonna stand up as a G too. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, yeah. You got heart. Yeah. You got heart, cuz. I can play that scene from Baby Boy right here. Yeah, you got heart, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you go. Oh, that's the only time you can see if that's a stunt double. But May came in there. I want some soul. Front kick. Oh, roll out. Up. Who got your lightsaber? Ha. Who got your lightsaber? So this is when the fighting kind of halts because then they got to go into this monologue. So when Osha comes out, she knows that Saul has been lying to her. And in this scene right here, he was like, "Why did you kill my mama? Huh? Why'd you kill my mama?" And he was like, "Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. I did kill your mama. I didn't mean to, but I should have did that. But I did." And it was like, "And you lied to Osha." You know what I'm saying? But he's like, "But you don't understand is that this is a virgins on this planet. Y'all was once, I don't know how your mama did it, but y'all was one person that was split into two. Y'all wasn't supposed to do all of that. Your mama did some dark stuff, and I'm trying to figure it out. But who are you to tell me what the dark stuff is?" You know what I'm saying? So that means you had to kill my mama. You know what I mean? It's a I killed her. Yeah. Now he don't know May was sitting there. Osha was sitting there the whole time listening to all of this, and this to me was her decision to the dark side. And that face it was making, all of that face. Don't make that face now. Don't make that face now because you was lying. You was liar, a cheater, heartbreaker. You was lying. You know what I mean? He was like, without May though, I couldn't prove that this planet created life for you. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling them they would have sent you away. I would have did this, that, and the other. But she ended up getting that lightsaber. And in the most dopest scene in a minute, I was sitting there like, who's doing the choking? Who's doing the choking? And even Smilo Ren was like, I'm not doing that. That ain't me. That ain't me. Who's doing the choke around here? Osha is pissed. Osha finally used the force. Out of all this time, and she was choking this. He said, "Stop talking. You killed my mama and you lied." And even when you see May who been trying to kill every Jedi since the start of this show, when she shocked, that's when I knew this was dope. Now, my man Smilo Red just sit back in there like, my apprentice, do it. He over there looking like a young, cool looking Palpatine. Do it. And she choked the life out of this dude. And then that's all, remember, that's all Chimera said the master was looking for. Who could defeat a Jedi without a weapon? Without taking the lightsaber, who could defeat a Jedi without a weapon? It may choke the mess up. Honestly, let's be real. Let's be real. Did y'all not see this coming? Did y'all not see this coming? I seen this coming for the simple fact is that it was obvious. The plot twist, which I already kind of knew was going to happen, was that May was going to go to the darks. I mean, May was going to go to the lights. Well, actually, she didn't never, ungo from the dark side. But Osha was going to descend truly to the dark side. For one, Osha was more powerful. Why do you think Saul was going to go get her? Once I found out and seeing the episode, which was, I believe it was still episode 7, when they did the flashback of episode 3, I already knew once she found out that information, she was going to snap. And you was going to see her true nature in the Force, why Saul and Chimera wanted her. Why it was so important that he saved Osha. Osha was more powerful than May. Even though May had the vigor, she had the discipline to want to be trained, it was Osha that was way stronger. That's why they never showed her powers when she was younger. And this is why this made so much sense, that she was so pissed off that she changed his kyber crystal to red. That's when you know you're dope in the Force, when you can change another man's kyber crystal from blue to red. And he was like, "I'm sorry, I love you. I love what? I choked shit out of you." Now, ladies, that's watching this is in the chat. Don't try to go do this to your man when he pissed you off and he didn't make no bacon, or he don't lift the toilet seat up. Don't go out there trying to force choke him. Don't you do it. It's like I still got it, and I got to show this because I got to show this in its entirety. Of course, I got to stop and start, but she, you know what I'm saying? It's literally her going completely to the dark side. Something that we actually see Luke Skywalker do when he damn near killed Kylo Ren in not right the second of the sequel trilogy. That descended to the dark. He almost killed. He raised his lightsaber up to his nephew. He just didn't do it, which coincided with the comics that was going on at that time too. To me, this was perfect to set up Nysa Ren and Darth Plagueis the Wise. Of course, if Darth Plagueis if he knew that he needed to get these women, there was a bigger plan this whole entire time, and he told Palpatine before Palpatine killed him. You know what I mean? So I believe that we're seeing why Darth Plagueis the Wise knew all of that information, and why Palpatine was able to make clones and all of that. It's a church auntie can go to jail. I'm too cute. But she killed him. I'm talking about squeeze her hand, choked him. Man, everybody sitting there like, oh, snap. But I ain't gonna lie. Like, real talk. If you look at May though, like May, Osha's like, oh snap, you did it. But she was like, damn, yeah. Look at my man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. He loved every minute of this. And then she tried to attack him. He was like, but when that, I'm telling you, when when that lightsaber turned red, she went to the dark side. It that was her dark side turn, and she took Saul's weapon and changed it. And he was like, my princess. Even May, that was jacked up. But even May was like, oh snap, son. And she was like, I did this. Yup. That means that she ascended to the dark side. I love this. I loved everything. She wasn't ready, but I was. Now you get here, and she was like, "Oh snap!" And since his helmet was off, that's why. This would make. Now we was always saying. A lot of us was saying, Master Vestra. It had to be her that was his Padawan, her Padawan at one point in time. You know what I mean? It had to be her Padawan at the time. Number one, the obvious clue was the markings on his back could have been done with a whip. The only person who has a lightsaber whip is Vestra. Like it was written. You know what I mean? And that's why he was like a long, long time ago when I was a Jedi. It was like you know, like, oh, snap. The way he put on that helmet, it was like, oh, snap, son. Oh, hold up. Did I go too far? It was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. She's here. Let me put on my helmet. Oh, you. He was like, oh, snap. He's like, you're alive? So she must have tried to kill. Vanessa tried to kill him at one point in time. That's what I believe. She tried to kill him. That story needs to be told in season 2 with an Acolyte. I don't care what y'all say. This needs a season 2 because we got to see his story and why she tried to kill him. You know what I mean? When he was a Padawan, how did he know how to be able to use that dark, the witch's magic, the whole entire 9? I need more. So she was like, oh, snap, it was you. She was like, I know where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So she went to cannon fodder. That's why I call it, if you get a bunch of Jedi Knights, they're cannon fodder. You know what I mean? So she took cannon fodder with him. And May was like, oh, snap, we got to go. Because they're about to get. He said, I know a way up out of here. And they went, and they bounced up out of here. And Vanessa was like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? And this is the way now we get to find out how she was able to survive. She climbed down that tunnel. You know what I'm saying? She probably used the Force to be able to save her from falling all the way down, and she found this little mine shaft. You know what I'm saying? But they walking around like Jesus. She went and found, Saul's body. You know what I mean? And now she's over here now because she's so strong in the Force and she's a Jedi Master. She already know what happened. That number one, it was a cover up. Saul killed, Mother Asasia. You know what I'm saying? The witches cult, the whole entire 9. It was him and the rest of the Jedi that came down there. You know what I mean? She killed, Saul killed his mother. All of that. You know what I mean? So it was like, hey, we got to go and spread out. We got to go and look for these two. You know what I mean? So Smallow Ren, Ninja vanished up here in the corner looking like somebody from Call of Duty. He could have took a headshot right there, pop. But Smallow Ren was like, nah, she too strong in the Force. I don't want her to see me. That's why he made that helmet. You know what I mean? That's why he made that helmet. So she wouldn't be able to find him in the Force. So she was like, oh, snap, son. Well, you brought it on yourself, didn't you? Just like, I'm sorry, but you're going to be used for some other nefarious means. So they get out of here. They can't find them. They're over at the tree. Now, I ain't gonna lie. This part here kind of got me a little bit because I was just starting to get used to May and I like both May and Ocean, but when they flip sides, and then you got to be able to see May's point of view and May's anger. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted this scene to happen where they are able to talk and are able to get some stuff out. You know what I mean? And she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start the fight. I just didn't want to leave you. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, look, the only way that we could be able to go, you know what I'm saying, is, if I Jedi mind wipe her mind. And at first she was like, well, I could be able to tell the Jedi Council. It's like, they're going to do things to you. Do you really want that? Let me do this. Let me wipe your mind. You know what I'm saying? And you won't remember your sister, me, nothing about these events. You know what I mean? She basically no way honed him. She gave him basically, you know what I'm saying, the ruins of Kafka spell. You know what I mean? And he was like, look, I'll go ahead and train. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with you and train, and because that's what I really want to do. And I kind of like, again, they never, Star Wars, let's be real. Star Wars has never made the Sith or anyone that goes to the dark side make sense. It's always, well, except for Anakin. Anakin literally, the reason why I love Revenge of the Sith so much is because the Jedi Council was wrong. They wronged Anakin. You cannot tell me they did not wrong Anakin. That whole entire movie, all they had to do was make him a Jedi Master. That's it. If you know he's the quote-unquote chosen one, why did the council not make him a Jedi Master? You know what I'm saying? Why was he easily influenced by Palpatine? Because he wouldn't have been easily influenced by Palpatine if y'all would have did what y'all was supposed to do. But just like how Saul didn't do what he was supposed to do, the Jedi Council didn't do what they were supposed to do with Anakin. And this is literally parallels showing you that the Jedi Council makes all these phony baloney, things about, how the Jedi is so good and this and the other, but they are so heavily flawed in their beliefs. And we rarely ever see stories that make us feel for why people go to the Force. Like, I completely understand why she wants to go to the Force. You know what I mean? You want to go to the Force because look what they did. Look how they treated you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you was too old, but that didn't mean that you couldn't have learned. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that we get to tell the story of why people go, and it's not like I said, it's not mustache twirling villain like they did in the Phantom Menace. Because if you go back rewatch Phantom Menace, you know what I'm saying? Palpatine, Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, they're literally mustache twirling villains with no real explanation to why they're doing it until you start watching, Rebels or the Clone Wars cartoons. Then it fleshes out the characters a little more. You know what I mean? But you really don't really understand why they go. You're actually getting a complete understanding of why somebody would want to go to the Force. You know what I mean? You actually get that understanding. And this is why I like this show and why, people can hate on it because, it's so woke because it's a black woman that's a lead. And then we had black gay witches, which they didn't really do anything gay. You know what I'm saying? So is that really, was that really it? They view bombed this. They did everything to be able to hate this show. But if you really watch it without no preconceived thoughts about what you know about Star Wars, you watch it for... Actually, you do have preconceived thoughts about Star Wars because you always will have questions about why does the Jedi fall? Why is there a movie called Return of the Jedi if the Jedi was so good to begin with? Why did the Jedi damn near get wiped out? Why? Because of their arrogance, their ignorance, their lack of understanding, there's so many things to point at. There's so many things to point at. This is why people is going to go back and look back at this. If they really do the Dark Plagueis the Wise story, they're going to go back and look at this and be like, you know what? You was right. Dre was right. We got to find out why people go to the dark side besides just Anakin. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, if we know that Anakin was supposed to be the chosen one and all of this other stuff, well, at the same time, if Palpatine already knew about the story about Darth Plagueis the Wise, well, where the hell is that story? This is that story. This would make more sense once they tell the Darth Plagueis the Wise story and why the Return of the Sith was, maybe that makes Phantom Menace a lot better. You know what I mean? But to me, this makes Revenge of the Sith make a hell of a lot more, not even more sense, but I feel you, big dog. You know what I mean? I feel you. And again, this is telling the same story without the Skywalkers. And to me, Star Wars fans need to get used to reading stories and hearing stories about the Star Wars, this galaxy, this huge galaxy that has nothing to do with a Palpatine or a Skywalker. To me. And then he goes out and Jedi minds wipe her mind. Which he did that kind of too cool, though. I want to learn that trick because there's some things I won't. I mean, I'm just sorry. I ain't trying to cuss, but there's some things I want some people to forget. Like when I was on child support. Forget that part. I wish I could Jedi mind trick that. And then they start doing the chant. They ninja vanish. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "You're under arrest." She was like, "She has no." Now, basically, she turned right in the ocean. She turned right in the ocean. She was like, "What'd I do?" You know what I mean? So they take her into custody, and they know that it's May. They know that it's May. So when Vestra is talking to her, she has no idea. She knows good and well. She's like, "Wait a minute, you having the same thoughts that you had as 8?" She was like, "But I know that my mother was killed." So basically, she used this information to be able to frame the murder instead of saying, because she knows. Now, she knows that Smilo Ren, you know what I'm saying, her old Padawan is running around here, loose. So she blamed how Saul blamed the fire on everything, Saul blamed the fire on May and tried to, make a child for your scapegoat for your misdeeds, your actions. She turned around and blamed Saul for everything to the council. You know what I mean? And he was like, was this person brought into custody? He was like, no, I think he took his own life, which would make sense because think about how young but old, you know what I'm saying, Jedi, the one who went off on his speeder and caused all this ruckus in the first place, how he killed himself. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, we're going to start an investigation of the Jedi Council, and everybody started rumbling. He was like, Master Saul dead. We ain't got to worry about him. And she set him on fire. That soul is on fire. I can't sing. But he's dead. He's dead. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back for Rush Hour 2. He went got to say, he must have went to Rush Roast. They had a dragon come down and set him on fire. You know what I mean? And it was like, she basically blamed everything on Saul like he twisted your mind. You know what I mean? She straight twisted your mind. And he was like, I'm going to make this right. You know what I mean? So he's like, but I know a pupil of mine before he turned evil. And then you have this scene where, Smilo Ren, I mean, I ain't going to lie, they kind of look like a cute couple. But they kind of like, this is next to each other when he started holding the lightsaber with her. I like, uh-oh, let's get it on. Oh, baby, let's get it on. But she looked kind of dope, though, with the hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? With the hoodie on. And they just looking out, you know what I'm saying, out in the space. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, them together, that's a powerful duo. Because as powerful as she is, yeah. I don't know about y'all. I kind of like to see it, but I was screaming, give me more. Give me more. And the investor had to go up there and said, Master, we need to talk. And then we get Yoda. We get old Yoda. You know what I'm saying? If I don't go and get my hair braided, my hair going to look like that on tomorrow. But, and that was the end of the episode with the Yoda tease. So again, I'm just saying, now that we got this Yoda tease, they have to. There's no doubt in my mind they have to do a season 2 so we can find out who's Smilo Ren. What's his real name? Is this Dark Plague? Is this Dark Plagueis the Wise? Is one who's been maneuvering all of this and getting information so he could be able to rise up in his ranks? Like I said, it's Old Republic. And what we need is, again, Star Wars fans, there's more things out in this world than just the Skywalkers. So again, if they are starting Smilo Ren, Quamir and Osha, if they are the first Knights of Ren, then I'm good with this. But you gotta have a season 2 so we can be able to get to that point. We gotta know about Dark. That was Dark Plague, dude. Dark Plagueis the Wise is up in this mug. You got Yoda. Now you could be able to utilize Yoda in season 2. You know what I'm saying? So we could be able to find out exactly what Dark Plagueis is up to lead up to this. Again, trust me, the Book of Boba Fett, worse. Way worse than this. You know what I mean? Way worse than this. You know, and nobody dogged this show like they dogged this. And again, this sets up so much about the story of, I want to see young Palpatine. How did Darth Plagueis get a young Palpatine? How did he find out about having eternal life? You know what I'm saying? How did all of this go? How does Quaimir and Osha, you know what I'm saying, follow into this? Is this now a Rey and Kylo thing? So Darth Plagueis could be able to, in the future, which could happen, which would, again, parallel exactly what Palpatine did to Rey and Kylo Ren by taking their Force energy. You know what I mean? If he takes his Force energy to be able to extend his life and he tells Palpatine, then that's how we knew how Palpatine was able to clone and have basically eternal life until, you know, the end of the, you know, of that movie. But that is exactly what you can lead up to. You know what I mean? This is what you can lead up to. But if we don't have these stories, and if everybody keep bombing on it because black women are in it, let's be real. I'm going to keep it a buck because black women was in it. And everybody was like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And all this other stuff to talk about, oh, this is poor writing and this is that. It's no different than the Old Republic comic books that's coming out right now. So what's the difference between this show and the Old Republic comic books that's out? Or the Old Republic books, the ones that's canon and non-canon. So again, I like the show. I think there's so much they can be able to do with the show. But what do y'all think about the show? Keep putting it in the chat before we get up out of here. And keep letting me know what you think about this. And I'm going to read some of this. And then I'm going to let y'all go.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
All right. And Erica, I think it's because of her. I think it's a writer producer because she went and said something, you know what I mean? Then that's why people was like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with it. No matter how, it could have been amazing and people wouldn't have messed with it because of that. That's all. But I do think that this is the first Knights of Ren. I believe that this is the first Knights of Ren. That would have been awesome. You know what I mean? But I want to see the first Knights of Ren. I want to see how that group came about. I want to know how Darth Plagueis the Wise, how he knew how to be able to, you know, to extend his life and how he was get a young Palpatine in. You know what I mean? So I want to see all of that. I hope they really take this to like Anakin, to this like Anakin love interest. Yeah, absolutely. You know, hey. You know, that's your opinion. I like it. I think there's now I'm not going to say there wasn't its flaws because I think some of the storytelling, because I seen it one way, a lot of people did not see it when you're looking at perspective. So I can understand why people didn't like that. I personally did. You know what I mean? Because I kind of understood the perspective. But trust me, there's a lot worse out here in Star Wars than just this. I don't think this is that much. You know what I mean? And like I said, the first sequel wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? I think the Rise of Skywalker, you know what I mean? I think that was it. But other than that, you know, I don't think anything else was. Well, no, Rise of Skywalker was, but the second one, when they spent the majority of the time on the casino planet, good God, they could have cut that part out. And the end, it was lackluster. But you already know what it is. You know what time it is.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
All right, got to get up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Mac Show, the Acolyte episode 8 recap. If you're watching this on the replay, put it in the comment section. Tell me And everybody else in the comment section, what you think of the show. You like it, you don't like it, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe power, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Where's my outro at? I gotta go.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over?
What?
Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.